Good evening, one. Good evening, all, and welcome to the SSRL series presented by Chasity Tucker Realtor. We are here with the Monday Night Trucks live from virtual Bristol Motor Speedway. I'm Joe LaCastro, joined tonight by Sheldon Atkins, and down in the truck by Austin Derbyshire. Sheldon, welcome to Bristol, my friend. It feels like we were just here, doesn't it?
It feels like we've been here for about a month at this point, but honestly, I could handle another month of it. Bristol, one of the most fun tracks on the circuit, at least from the driver's standpoint. If you have the luxury of getting a race where it goes green majority, the long green flag runs here are so much fun. What we're looking at right now from the top is a beautiful short track with progressive banking, variable banking, some of the steepest banking on the Cup Series schedule, and the steepest when it comes to a short track that we have access to at the moment anyway.
Yeah, and that banking is very famous for its chewing up of tires. I know I hear about that every time we come out here, but look at that. It's just a beautiful sight. The last Coliseum, the last great Coliseum, as they say. But why don't you go ahead and give the people some tips for getting around this place?
Yeah, so if you want to conquer this bad boy, what you're going to have to do first and foremost is you're going to leave those emotions in the hauler. You don't want to come to this thing with a chip on your shoulder. You don't want to wear your heart on your sleeve here at Bristol. Chaos will often find you, and when it does, it's best to just kind of keep yourself cool, dialed in, and collected to try and make it to the end of this thing. Second of all, you want to go to that top line. If you're trying to get by somebody quick, especially at the start of a run, you want to go up there up against that outside line, make a charge. You want to save tires. You want to stick it down there in the bottom. The bottom line will be faster on a long run, but you can make up a ton of spots at the start. And most importantly, this track goes through a lot of changes from start to finish. Track temp, building up different lines, building up rubber. You're going to want to be chasing the grip every second of the race, as well as making changes on that pit box when you come in.
Okay. Well, let's figure out who we think now is going to make it around first and foremost. We've got a name out here right now that I think is going to stand out. I think you may have heard it before, Justin Levine. And look at that, a couple of familiar faces across the board. What do you say?
Well, if we were hitting a slot machine right now, I think all of us would be walking away pretty happy. But yeah, Justin Levine, I mean, he's so scrappy when he comes to these short tracks, especially Bristol. I've seen him pull off some crazy drives through the field in A-Open, NIS. Now, he did it Wednesday night in ASS. I think he got himself a top 3. Levine is one to always keep your eye on when you come here to Bristol.
That's very true. I was trying to look around the field a little bit, but then I got pulled into that conversation earlier as we were getting ready for the race. And I think we all had a pretty safe pick tonight. It's going to be tough for anybody to really rise to that occasion, but let's take a look at the conditions right now. Mostly cloudy right now, 66 degrees in the air, 68 on the track. It's looking like it's only about 8 miles an hour worth of wind. Of course, these very high, the Coliseum shape. There's not a lot of wind is going to get in here, I guess. But it's, God, it's really fun to watch a race here. I think that's going to be the thing that always stands out to me is these drivers have got a unique perspective here with fans around the entire outside, and we're going to get the best seat in the house. So thanks, folks, for watching. If you're joining us tonight for a little bit of grid vision, we're going to be bringing it to you live over the next 150 laps. I don't think that there's even, I think there's a stage break in here. Is there one tonight? I got to double check that myself. I don't think I had that information in front of me right now. Let me pull it up. Got it right here. Stage ends at 60. So we've got a stage break at 60, and then we're going to go from there to the end. And did you do you were mentioning recently, Sheldon, you just did some racing here, and you went from what were the positions you made it from again?
I ran an A-fix the other night, started 17th, and drove myself up cleanly up to the 4th place position, which was a great feeling considering, more often than not, I've been the nail as opposed to the hammer here at Bristol.
And it's really easy to become one or the other. Ooh, and we can see right now someone's about to become the nail. Unfortunately, a couple of cars now making their way around, and by around I mean sideways as they're going down across the straight there. Yeah, Bristol is vicious. A lot of self-spinning possibilities here. As you come out of these turns, the track can just get out from under you.
Yeah, that's the thing about this place. In fact, if we get a camera on Heath Snyder right now. Oh, never mind. We're ready for the grid. That's the thing about this place. There's such a sense of speed. You don't really get many other tracks here. So when something happens, it's typically big, and it's you don't have any time to react.
Yeah, that's very true. Let's talk about who is going to be battling it out tonight here on the SSRL Truck Series. First place, your pole position, Drew Prohl. Heath Snyder in second. Third, Justin Levine. Fourth, Evan Ethel. Fifth, Chad Genningsman. Sixth, Joseph Tucker. Seventh, Gary Donnellan. Eighth, Nick Jasboski. Ninth, Jordan Sailors. And 10th, Kyle Westwood.
In 11th place, we got Blair Holloman in the 32 machine with Cody Hemingway in 12th. 13th is going to be Shane Clore with Colton Gardner in the 21 and 14th. 15th place, off the grid here, is going to be Tony Jeffries with Jason Kratke in 16th. 17th, Scott Schroeder with Christopher Fuge in 18th. 19th position, we'll have Art Nicotera. 20th is going to be James Staples, and rounding out the 21 truck field tonight is going to be Colby Jackson.
Looking good. 21 cars around, and here we go. Everybody's getting ready to get started here. Out in front, Drew Prohl and Heath Snyder, the 80 and the 29. 29 machine on the outside. We usually see Drew Prohl doing fairly well in situations like this, but seeing him start up in front, this is going to be I don't think he's been a starter as often in some of these short tracks. So I'm interested to see how things play out for him as we get around here. We'll have this one to go situation at this very short track. So we'll be getting things kicked off here very soon, folks.
Well, Drew is somebody that's been really good this season. Just hasn't had the luck play out, strategy work out the way he wants. But he's got a lot of speed and a lot of talent. The thing is, he's just got to be able to hold onto that speed and talent for the long run and just keep those tires under him. You know, there's been a couple weeks where he started up here at the front and kind of burned it off a little bit early on. Maybe tonight will be the night that he's able to get that balance how he likes and keep those tires underneath him and keep the thing going frontward throughout the run.
Well, that's going to be it's going to be tough for a lot of these drivers. You see already we got I think that's the 33 of Levine warming up those tires, getting things ready, because cold tires can be the death of you here at Bristol. You start biting off more than you can chew, trying to fight for position or defending it early on, you're going to see it go. Speaking of go, there goes the pace car. There's the green flag. We are go, go, go here on Great Division, and there goes Drew Prohl. The yellow flag is out as Drew Prohl self-spins on the very, very first moment of the very, very first lap. We're going to start that one all over again, folks. Let's take it back from the top.
Right there is such an easy mistake to make here at Bristol. You get so much wheel spin when the car comes up off the banking, and unfortunately, that's right where the restart zone is. I can't tell if he had a little bit of contact.
Oh, did he get? He blinked, I think.
He might have. He blinked. Hang on, let's watch that from Levine's on board. There might have been contact there that Levine wasn't prepared for.
Yeah, I didn't see him blink out at first. Now that I see it, he definitely went away, and then when he came back, he was just not ready for that start. Okay, there he goes.
He's gone. Levine doesn't know what's going on, doesn't know where that truck is, and yeah.
Oh, wow.
Thing you know, and honestly, Prohl probably backed off there because the entire field went invisible to him. He didn't know what to do in that situation.
What a shame. Absolutely, what a shame. Just not a situation any of us have any control over, obviously. The video game gods, Xfinity and Comcast, as fickle as they are going to do their thing. And, wow, there we go. Just goes away to the eighth or C, pops back in from nowhere in the middle of another truck. It's not very conducive to getting your race done, unfortunately. So, no hard feelings on anybody's side, but Drew Prohl going to have to take a back seat, unfortunately, as his situation was a dire one. Well, let's try it again. Let's see. This time it's going to be Heath Snyder and Justin Levine up in front, changing things up a little bit.
You got Levine up there on the outside line in that Toyota Tundra. That's that could be a problem here for Heath if he can get to the gas. And around the same time that 29 machine gets to it, it's going to be really hard for Heath to clear him. But if he can get a good launch here in the 29, then Heath can pull him and really be annoying here for a couple laps. But he needs to get clear into one if he's going to be able to do it.
Yeah, getting quickly clear, getting into that line and finding it. I've noticed that the outside line here tends to be faster, but early in, like on lap 1, lap 2, finding the line and getting in line is really where it seems to be the main focus of racing Bristol. If you try to get two side by side, if you try to take these turns where you're just not really seated and ready before your tires are hot. Oh, okay. We just saw Drew Prohl come screaming into the end of the field there. Colby Jackson maybe taking some damage. There goes the pace car. Here we go again. The green flag's about to come out. There it is. And we are green yet again here on Grid Division. There to the up goes Heath Snyder as he leads things off into turn 1.
That's exactly what Heath needed to see. He needed to get out there, get that jump on Levine to be able to get it down to turn 1 and get into a tire-saving position. Levine going to try and save some tires back behind him. Here's Chad Gunningsman in the 97 machine going to go up to the outside line right now, trying to sniff a little bit more traction, trying to get that launch down the back straightaway to get him to the back of the 1 machine, but not able to find it just yet.
We got a little bit more blinking going on here in the middle of the field. I see a couple of cars vanishing, coming back, but it looks like things are stabilizing now. Still not quite in the single file situation we need here around the 7th, 8th position. Nick Jasbowski right now looking good in the 82. Here side by side in the 10, it's Cody Hemingway. Ooh, off the wall goes Hemingway. Still a little wide, still a little high. Trying to defend against Jordan Sailors, who's looking for a spot on the inside. Hemingway off the wall a 3rd time now. Sailors to the inside.
Sailor sends it down to turn 1, gets up just about, gets into the door. The 10 machine going to fall back in line here into 3. Give him a little shot, though, moving him up the hill. But Hemingway's gone. I think Sailor's kind of scrubbed it there just a little bit, trying to get to the back bumper.
Oof.
Now Sailors is up top.
Yep, and now it's his turn to get a stripe off the wall there as Sailors is going to maybe try to use some momentum up there, but here comes Genningsman looking for 2nd now. Justin Levine, Genningsman side by side. Up on the outside, it's Genningsman. He's got the spot. Behind him, Joseph Tucker in that Chasity Tucker Realtor livery. Looking good. He's got 4th position right now, but the 3 of them together still battling it out as Heath Snyder holds on to that lead.
And right now you see Levine doing what he does best. Here's backing it down, saving tires. Let these guys go up to the front and race that leader. Hold on to what you got here. Keep those Goodyears under you.
Yes, sir. And it looks like Drew Prohl, unfortunately, is going to be pitting now, and green flag pitting. I guess he might be having some more car trouble after that situation. Still up in front, Chad Genningsman, hot on the bumper of Heath Snyder. Snyder down to the inside, using a bit more of the track than Genningsman. Genningsman having found the line a little bit. He's sort of riding that middle outside groove. Snyder holding on to the inside, really hugging the inside of the track. We'll see which one of these strategies pays off very soon here.
Genningsman going to the top, trying to find the... Oh, save it. Oh, Gardner almost goes around us. One heck of a job saving it and knocked down the pit barrels in the process.
Well, that's going to be my kudos of the day so far to Colton Garner on that spin control. Lost it a little bit here. Let's go on the way back machine, see what happened. There it goes, out from under him. Stays above the groove just enough. Transitions down. Very good. Quite the impressive play as we come back to the present day here. Speaking of present day, Heath Snyder right now very close, doing the pass now on Colby Jackson, I believe.
Here comes Chad up against the wall, trying to build the momentum down the straightaway. One thing I've noticed about Chad, his truck seems to be sitting a little bit lower than everybody else's. You watch him go up to that outside line, he is sparking that right rear all the way around the track.
Yeah, that was a hard hit. I don't think he expected to bounce off the wall quite that hard, but he really did end up paying for it with a little bit more momentum loss than I think he expected there. A couple of these guys really paying for it as they get spread out now, the whole field here. Cody Hemingway around the middle of the pack here, the number 10 machine. Little loosey-goosey.
We got one truck slow on the bottom. Looks like the Mac Tools machine of Colby Jackson.
Yeah, we've seen Jackson now. I think he's going to pit. Yep, he's jumped to the pits here. He was the one that took some damage from Prohl, unfortunately, toward the start of the race. Or I believe he did. We're taking a look at a couple other people going around now. Christopher Fuge, he's up 7 places. He's tucked in right now behind Cody Hemingway. Hemingway off to the inside, not quite tucked as low as maybe he wants to be, could be, but he's still got just enough speed that Christopher Fuge is having to fight a little bit harder to get around him here. It's not really showing like he's trying to make the pass. Nope, wait, here it might be. That Shank It Golf livery looking good. Oh, yeah, that's very good. The Masters jacket colors as well. We just had the Masters the past weekend, I believe, right? Ah, there you go. Roy McIlroy. Roy McIlroy. That's what I was thinking. Okay, I'm sorry, not familiar with the golf lingo, but just for you folks who do watch golf, I hope you enjoyed the Masters, and looks like someone did here. And here he comes, Christopher Fuge. His rival ahead of him, Hemingway, putting it right past Sailors on the inside. Sailors losing a little bit of speed here.
And up into the fence, too. I think Sailors might have burned those Goodyears off a little bit. Definitely losing a lot of time here in that number 1 machine.
Deep dive. It doesn't pay off. I think you're right. Quite the send. But then he can't, you know, he's writing checks that the tires can't cash, as they say.
Look how much fuel he's having to crank into it to really get it down to the bottom, too. That's just a miserable feeling here at Bristol.
Oh, man. Yeah, you're fighting really hard for something that you know that you're just not going to get unless you really lighten up. Ah, there it is.
Into the fence. That's just a really tight truck that he's got, and he's just going to be going backwards here for the rest of the races. I don't think there's enough adjusting you can do in pit road to get that evil out of it.
No, that is you're not going to get that evil out. Not that easy, that's for sure. So Jordan Sailor's fighting against it. His car could use a Red Bull right now, that's for sure. As the 72 makes the pass. That's Shane Clorer. We haven't seen Shane. Not a name I've seen very often here in the Trucks League. Good to have him here. Makes that pass on Sailors.
Look who's up in the 4th place right now. That
Who's
12
that?
machine of Donnellan. Haven't mentioned him at all tonight. Looking pretty good here 32 laps into this race.
You know, the Gary Donnellan hour doesn't happen at the beginning of the race, my friend. The Gary Donnellan hour comes sometime around the midpoint, usually, or at least a little ways in for me, when suddenly you realize that name has been creeping its way up the list bit by bit. And now here he is, 3 up from where he started, sitting 4th place. It's a good place to be. Let's just hope that, the goddess of victory is smiling in his direction and he avoids any of the stuff that we've already seen is very close to becoming much bigger problems for most of these racers.
So Levine cycling up to the outside line now. Really carving into that advantage. He was about a second or so back. Now here he is, 0.2 back, within spitting distance of your race leader, Keith Snyder, in the 29. He's not going to be able to get rid of him in that grid vision machine. Oh, but Levine up into the fence.
Oh, maybe he'll get rid of himself and you won't have to worry about it. Yeah, that fence is so unforgiving here. You bounce off it, you feel like you don't lose a lot of momentum. It's true, but that damage is going to add up. We had the same problem at our last short track. It was Darlington. It all adds up.
Yeah, the toe link looks good on Levine, though. No real issues from the looks of it. Just gotta wait for this tires to pull back down. You know, Garrett Maines did a great job pointing out for me last year that once you get up into the wall, it really torches those right side tire temps. It takes a handful of laps for them to come back down. Here he comes to the back of Sailors. Oh, that's a close pass right there.
Let's see. We've got a quick shout out to the YouTube chat. We got Luke Christian in there saying, let's go, Clore. We also have Tundra X asking how long was I blinking? Because the green never came out. Heath took off. Next thing I know, I'm dead. I'm not really sure. Tundra X. Do you know who Tundra X is? Okay.
Yeah, he disappeared. Yeah, he disappeared for about the entirety of the corner up to the restart zone.
Yeah, so at least about 2 seconds. Yeah. Yeah, you were just not there. Really unfortunate. You'll be able to scrub back there and see it.
Sailors gets into the quarter panel of Tucker. Gets hard into the fence out of 4. And, we were talking about how bad of a truck Sailors, the handle that Sailors have been fighting here from, about lap 15 onward.
Yeah.
When he really started to drop like a stone, and look at that, it only took about, 30 laps for him to go a lap down.
Yep.
On that first run.
It is about lap, here we are on lap 45. We're looking for lap 60 to end the stage. So we got about 15 laps to go, 16 laps to go to get things done here. And the 29 of Heath Snyder is still out in front. Justin Levine still right behind, about a half a second, holding on to that high line. Snyder's been using a lot of the track tonight, and I'm wondering if that's going to. I'm wondering how that's been paying off on his tires. He doesn't look like he's fighting it too hard. He has a similar wheel throw, though, to what we were just saying was the problem in Justin Levine's car. Or not Justin Levine's, Jordan Saylor's car. He was throwing the wheel a lot to try to stay down low. And I'm wondering if we're seeing now something that is chewing away at Heath Snyder's ability to hold on to this lead.
I'll tell you one thing. Justin Levine and Heath Snyder have been throwing, huge wreck in front of the leaders, up against the fence, 2-3 trucks around. Christopher Fuge, Tony Jeffries, and I think Gunningsman was caught in that as well.
Oh, no. It looks like the two guys furthest out in front. I'm not sure. Up.
Chad has heavy suspension damage.
Here's Genningsman. Oh, it was Genningsman into the wall, then potentially down into the 45 of Tony Jeffries. That
is a hard hit for Chad.
Yeah. Let's see this here. Genningsman's up there high on the outside. He hits the wall. It looks like they come to meet each other just enough in the middle. If he hadn't hit the wall and come down, then I don't know if they would have hit.
I'm looking at Chad's truck on track right now too, and he has completely destroyed the right front suspension. It's not just toe link. I think he may have broken an upper, because that thing is it's slamming into the track now.
Oh yeah, look at that.
The way that tire's bouncing. It's not supposed to be doing that.
Wow. Oh yeah, we can hear it. We can see it. This is not going to be a drivable situation, most likely there for Chad Genningsman. Once a front runner in this race, very likely challenger for Justin Levine and Heath Snyder. Now it looks like he's going to be back a ways, if not out for good.
And Chad, also your overall points leader.
That's true, yeah.
This week, and he's been snake bit. He was so good the first half of the season, and just here recently, he's just had bad luck or just hasn't had the performance he was looking for.
Well, we're on lap 51 out of 60 in the stage 1 here of tonight's race at Bristol Speedway. I hope you folks have been enjoying the race so far. Thank you to everybody in YouTube who's been chatting along with us, and I encourage you to reach out some more. Let us know how you feel things have been going in the race. Give us a like, a subscribe, slap that bell, the whole deal. It all goes a very long way.
Yeah, and also, Drew, that was, I see you in the chat right now. That was actually what I was about to mention, too. It's been a rough night for both of our points leader, because Drew Prohl coming into this race second in points behind Gunningsman. Both of your points leaders behind the wall here. So Chad on pit road right now trying to get repairs done. It's going to take a long time for him to get that, though, because I'm pretty sure that might have been meatball damage.
Yeah, that could be a long time coming, unfortunately. And the stage is still going to be at the end of 60. Then we're going to go from there to 150. But there goes the pace car, which means it's going to get started real soon here at Bristol. And there's the green flag. We're green yet again. Justin Levine, the 33, screaming out in front. Joseph Tucker in second. Gary Donnellan slicing right into third there. Ooh, a little bit of action in the back. Some bumping off the walls as the cars all get lined up. The trucks find their way into position, and we get things sliding towards the end of stage 1 here at Bristol.
Right now, Justin Levine leading, trying to get these points for the stage here. Opting to stay out when a lot of these other guys came down pit road. Joseph Tucker doing the same thing. Donlin sitting in the 3rd place right now. Going to blows right now, though, with the 10 machine of Cody Hemingway, who I think pit on that last caution. Cody dives it deep down to turn 3 to the inside of Donlin, trying to get the 2-piece combo as he gets door-to-door with Tucker down the front straightaway. They come into 1. Hemingway, I think, is going to have him, but no, here comes the 29 machine, and Snyder's going to be 3 wide into turn 3 in contact.
Whoa.
Chasing Tucker all the way up to the wall.
What a maneuver. Snyder with the massive choice of putting it 3 wide in that situation. It could have been anyone's game. Thankfully, everyone able to keep it clean, just clean enough. Snyder down to the inside. He's back into 2nd place where he started this all. He's looking for 1st, though. Not happy to stop there. He takes 1st place by a nose. And now it's his.
Right there. That right there is what 40-plus lap tires look like in comparison to freshies. There's nothing that any of these guys could have done to hold that 29 machine back.
He was like a rocket. Just a damn rocket. Unbelievable. Very good drive. Here comes Shane Clore now. He's in 4th place, up 9 from where he started. Snyder still setting the pace, still moving out ahead. It's going to be a while before that happens here. We're on lap 60 now. We're looking for the end of stage 1. Heath Snyder's going to be coming across the line any second now, folks. That's the end of stage 1 with Heath Snyder taking it away. Justin Levine in 2nd. Shane Clore makes his way to 3rd, and let's go to a commercial break.
You want to be the best, you can't settle for the rest. For anything on iRacing, there's just one name you need, Makoni.
With the launch of Makoni Entertainment and Makoni Competizone alongside Makoni Setup Shop, we now provide the best of the best in setups, paint schemes, coaching, broadcasting, and event organization.
With cars across all 4 license classes, we have what you need to hit the track with confidence. Grab a subscription and save money while going fast at MakoniSetupShop.com/subscriptions.
And remember, at Makoni Setup Shop, there are setups, but your victories.
We are back, folks, and welcome yet again to the SSRL Truck Series presented by Chasity Tucker Realtor. We're here with that Monday night Truck Series at Bristol, the last great Coliseum, and we're going to get things restarted here with Shane Clore and Heath Snyder leading things off. There goes the green flag, and here we go again with the number 10, Cody Hemingway, with a huge shove to Heath Snyder. We're getting things started here in this 2nd stage, the final stage, going to lap 150. Let's see what happens.
Advantage over 2nd place Shane Clore. Justin Levine getting cycled back because he got stuck behind the 72 and wasn't able to make any headway. Here comes Joseph Tucker to the inside following Hemingway, though. No, Hemingway, huge contact with the outside wall coming out of turn 2.
Ooh, then he slides the back of that truck just slamming into the wall there.
McClure's going to hit the wall this time out of 2 and into 3.
Oh, no. It's happening all over.
Yeah, it opens the door for Joseph Tucker. He's now clear into 3rd place, all over the back bumper of Hemingway in the 10.
And this is it. This is the marathon stretch portion of the night. We are in a situation where these guys are going to have to come back in, once to get some gas and tires. So this is where the strategies are going to really play out. Let's see what happens as we check in with the middle of the pack here. Oh, a spin! Whoa.
An impressive save.
Whoa. I'm glad we got that on camera. Evan Ethel. Watch this.
Corner, I think Ray gets down to the inside of the 17 machine, gets a little loose, and had a little bit of help there. Looked like from his teammate, the 74 machine.
Yeah. Scott Schroeder has more than earned his teammates' respect tonight. That's for sure. He straightened him out.
Also Hemingway up to 2nd place right now, but he's got his mirror full. Donlan working that outside line, and on the bottom you got the 39 machine of Joseph Tucker. Joseph Tucker going to take him side by side down the back straightaway up into the wall again for the 10. Doesn't slow him down too much this time, but here comes Tucker again with another launch. And here comes Donlan now. Donlan sticking it up on the outside line, side by side with the 39 machine of Joseph Tucker down the back straightaway into 3. Donlan has the momentum, and I think he's got just a little bit better of a truck right now. Move him up to 3rd place as Tucker falls in behind him.
Yeah, you see he's got that high outside line, Donlan does. Oh, off the wall once again, Cody Hemingway. Donlan's got that outside line that was nice and high. Now he's kind of forced down to the inside.
Huge launch. Donlan with a huge launch, basically undercut the corner to get by the 10 machine and Hemingway. And Hemingway's way slow on the outside. I think he might have tore something up with that last punt to the wall.
Yeah, I think you're right. I'm trying to keep an eye on this truck and just see what's going on with it, see if anything might be weird with how it's driving, how it's handling these turns. We've seen so many trucks bouncing off the wall already tonight. I wouldn't be surprised if there is something a little bit wonky with that machine.
Now Donlan starting to work his way up to the back bumper, the 29 of Heath Snyder. A turn 2 down the back straightaway. Heath going to hold even this time. Had Donlan really closed it up the lap before, but now they're kind of at a bit of a stalemate. But I can tell that 12 machine is just a little bit faster right now on this take of the run. Here he is, all over the back bumper out of turn 2. Going to send it up high, try to get to the quarter panel now. The 29 of Heath Snyder, and he's able to do it. Heath's under heavy pressure right now from the 12 machine.
He is. That 12 really is locked in. You can see that he's avoiding the wall by mere inches as he comes screaming around. Gary Donlan into 1st place, takes the spot, looking very, very dominating as he gets around lap 81 right now of 150. 70 to go.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, Gary definitely looks like he has a solid Inception Energy Solutions Chevrolet tonight. Working his way up through the pack quietly for the first half, and just here these last handful of laps is basically thrown on the afterburners and sent it past these guys.
I do wonder if the next person to challenge that situation is going to have to be someone who's got a better tire situation, and because it's going to be the only thing I think that can catch up to whatever they're feeding that number 12 tonight. Something is under the hood, or the setup he's got is just really impeccable.
Well, if you want to look, the camera just panned on him for a second there. The guy that I think is really going to come up here and charge in the late stages of it, just because of how fast we saw him earlier in the race. I think that we're not done with that race pick of ours, that unanimous vote, the Mac Tools machine of Justin Levine.
I don't think we're done with. I don't think he's done with this race either. He has been tenacious during this race, and then really overcoming some tough situations already before we even got to the end of stage 1. Already, and now in stage 2, just sort of clawing his way back up now.
Yeah, I think Justin's on a super save strategy right now. I've seen this out of him so many times before. He gets up there, is really good in the first, handful of laps in a race. Then he falls off a cliff. You don't even know he's there. Then by the time you get to those last 40 laps, it's showtime for him. He'll only come around when the pay window opens up.
Oh,
Nope,
here
got a
comes the
caution.
yellow flag.
No, Sailors.
Sailors is sideways on the inside.
And I
Trying
think
to
he
straighten out now.
just served a black flag a handful of laps ago, too.
Let's see what happens here. Scott Schroeder, I think that's him, the 74.
Yep.
He gets a little high.
And that right there, that's just one of those situations, man. You got a truck that doesn't drive well. And it's unfortunate, you know, for Sailors, because he's been struggling with the handle of that thing. And since the truck is so tight, he can't commit to the outside line like the rest of these guys are able to. Because if he tries to come out of the corner high, it's going to go right up in the fence. He's trying to bring it down low to keep himself out of the wall. And unfortunately, you know, when you're side by side with other cars, you got to be able to use every inch of real estate. And that's what just bit Sailors on the hand there. And drama here. Most of the field coming down pit road. Justin Levine opting to stay out on these tires to try and save a set in the box for later on.
Interesting. Interesting.
He's not alone. Westwood staying out too.
Now, these are names that we expect to see toward the front, but they are now in kind of a self-handicap situation, it sort of feels like.
Well, I'll tell you what we're seeing right now, these guys up at the front, these are the names that we're expecting to see up here. You know, Heath Snyder, Joseph Tucker, Gary Donlin, Holloman, Hemingway, these are heavy hitters here in the series. Levine, you know, I think, was this his first start of the season here for the SSRL?
I think so.
But that's no surprise. Justin Levine is somebody that's probably put more miles on these trucks than I think anybody else possibly could. You know, he spends a lot of time running Cup now, but truck is very much his preference. At least it was way back in the day. Does have 7 wins in Masters too, so there is that too. We can't forget about that.
He knows what he's up to. As the lights go off in the pace car and we get ready to go again here. Lap 91 out of 150, folks. Thanks for joining us yet again for this run here at the last great Coliseum on Grid Vision. The SSRL Truck Series sponsored by Chasity Tucker Realtor. Okie doke. Looks like the back of the field is getting lined up as well. They're shuffling around. Any moment now, that pace car is going to be off, and then it'll be lickety split right into the green flag. We'll see how Justin Levine and Westwood can lead things off here. Here we go. There's the line, and there's the green flag. Levine off like a shot here as we are green yet again at Bristol.
Good launch there for the Mac Tools Tundra. We'll get him a handful of car links out there in front of the field. As we look at the cluster behind Kyle Westwood on the outside line on the older tires, really stumbling here backwards through the field.
Name we haven't
See
seen
Jez
yet. Exactly, yeah.
Jezebowski up here working the outside line. Oh, track on the back straightaway. I think that's Hemingway.
We got a spin, big spin. I think Christopher Hughes is in there too, or Joseph Tucker. Not Joseph Tucker. Let's see, who is that?
There's Hemingway in the middle of 3, gets a little bit loose coming into the corner, gets a shot from the 72 machine of Clore. Around it goes on the backstretch, and see the collateral there. Guys trying to avoid it.
Yeah, it was
Yeah,
Jason Kratke with this the sympathy spin.
Hit the banana peel there.
He just looked like so much fun he had to try it himself. And we bring things back a little bit. See things from Cody Hemingway's perspective.
Just gets in there, realizes he's 3 wide, and might have, you know, panicked a little bit to keep it off of Gardner, and around she goes. Perfect 360 though.
Yeah. Elegant even.
Our producer said it was a solid pop shove it. As long as you're not kick flipping at Bristol, you should be all right for the most part.
you know your Tony Hawk's moves there, buddy. Yeah, you want a 360, totally fine. Pop shove it, kick flip, not what you're trying to do in a truck.
I have been known to. Yeah, I have been known to do it on here though.
Well, tonight it was.
What's
Yeah.
really fun is when you're running the 87 Cup cars at the Super Speedways, and you do a perfect backflip without hitting anything on the back straightaway at Talladega. That's always
Oh
that's
my
always a
God.
good feeling.
I can scarcely imagine it. I gotta go look up some highlights of this. I think the lights are about to go off there on the pace car. That's right. Justin Levine and Joseph Tucker getting ready to take things into the triple digits, folks. 97 laps in, and it's been a bloodbath so far. Our pole position sitter, Drew Prohl, is now sitting last place, unfortunately, due to an unfortunate blinking situation there. Here comes the pace car now. We're going to be restarting very soon and seeing how things wrap up here at Bristol. There he goes, and here we go. Levine, Tucker, getting things started. A great launch, and here comes Nick Jasbowski on the outside as we're green yet again.
The
Ooh.
fence out of 2. Heavy
Yeah.
contact. Here comes Joseph Tucker now, all over the back bumper of the 33 at Justin Levine. We're going through 1 and 2. Remember, Joseph Tucker on fresher tires than Levine.
That's true. It's true. He's going to want to get around as fast as he can and make use of that. Jasbowski really wants to be up here right now, and it feels like he's just fighting a situation that's going to be tough for him. His last pit was on the 60s, so he's fighting some guys with much better tires than him.
I want to say what these guys have set up, though, they've got extra tires in the pit box to use whenever they want. I'm not sure what our tire limit was tonight, but it's definitely going to pay in the positive for these guys. They did say it if we get another caution, but that's what they need. They need another caution on the board. But not right now. They need it about 15, 20 laps from now so they can really make a difference with that tire strategy.
That's right. That's right. And we are now officially in the triple digits. We're lap 102 going around with Joseph Tucker and Gary Donnellan now out in front. We've got eyes on Jasbowski, who's still falling back now, unfortunately. He's in 5th place on the outside, just not able to find speed on the outside, which is a unique situation here at Bristol. We've seen so many guys on the outside with great momentum, but Jasbowski just having a little bit of trouble finding it right now, and he's got guys challenging the inside every time. There he goes!
Sideways.
What a save!
But the problem for Nick right now, though, is the fact that he's on older stuff and he slammed the hell out of the wall a handful of laps ago, and you know that truck's got to be pretty torn up on the inside.
Oh my goodness, yes. The story of the night right here is the damages being done and the situation he was in. He was out in front. He was number 2 on the restart here. Now he's fallen back, unfortunately, to number 8 as he's about to get passed yet now by Cody Hemingway on the outside. On the inside. It's a sad story here for the 82 of Jasbowski, who I'm not sure if he can go back and get repairs enough to come back from this situation.
So look, he's worked himself up into the 3rd position right now on a quiet night for him. The 21 machine of Colton Gardner started this thing out, mid-pack warrior, and he's really worked himself up to a good finish here this evening. He can just keep it pointed the right direction and keep everything working for another 41 laps. He'll be in a good shot here.
We'll see if he's part of the solution. It seems like he might be. UDX, great-looking Matt Gray livery. Colton Gardner now only about a 1-second gap between him and Gary Donnellan, a second and a half between him and Joseph Tucker.
You see it says underdog all over the truck. I'll tell you what, he is a good underdog pick here. There's that's definitely not how you spell underdog, but my main question is, what's the dog doing?
What did the dog do? Joseph Tucker out in front, looking very good. Blair Holloman just behind the 33 of Justin Levine. Levine now is maybe not the time to start saving. Maybe it's time for him to start putting some heat under it. At any moment now, it feels like that's where things might go. Right now, he's still on that. It kind of feels like he's still on that saving strategy.
Yeah, I mean, right now he's stuck on those old tires. He's off pace mainly because of that, and he's just got to maintain track position the best he can and hope for a caution here to get himself, back on pit road with those 4 freshies underneath him. But the laps are running out now. If it's going to happen, it's going to have to happen here soon.
Exactly. The window of opportunity is closing on these long game strategies that some of these guys have employed, where it's like, oh, I'll just save all these tires I have until later. Well, if you never get a chance to use them, what was the point in saving them?
Yeah, like he needs something to happen here the next handful of laps. You don't want to get into a situation where it's 10 laps to go and you have the opportunity to come down for tires. And you have that great advantage, but the problem is carving through an entire pack of cars here at Bristol where you have multiple lanes, multiple opportunities, where people try and, stick their car and make it work. It puts you in a really bad situation where you're more than likely to wreck yourself out as opposed to get the positions that you need to get up there and win this thing.
Yeah. All right, folks, we're going to take it to one final commercial break as we got some green flag racing here, so don't go anywhere. We've got more coming up here on Grid Vision. Welcome back, everybody, to Grid Vision, and specifically the SSRL Monday Night Truck Series presented by Chasity Tucker Realtor. I'm Joe LaCastro, Sheldon Adkins is here with me, and Austin Darbyshire is pushing all the buttons to bring it to you. We've got the last chunk of laps here in Stage 2, lap 126 right now of 150, and you're watching Gary Donnellan take it away with Joseph Tucker, a battle for first.
Donlan working the inside line right now with Tucker on the outside. Tucker trying to defend as best he can up top, but Donlan just has such a fast truck this evening. And loaded with a lot of pace here, and now contending for a potential win here at Bristol. Side by side again at 3 and 4, and here we go. Donlan's got the spot. Tucker now in the tailgate, trying to make something happen here, but I just think Donlan's done a better job at saving what he's got, and I think Donlan's really going to stretch out this advantage here.
You know, I kind of hope so. They've both got the upper line here. They're riding the outside of the track. It seems to be the place where the most success happens, or at least the most momentum gets built up. And right now, both of them, Donnellan and Tucker, are staying far away from the inside. I don't think they want their tires to get chewed up either, because if they're going to stay green for a while, they need to really play by this track's rules. And right now, you can see all the marbles that have formed there on the outside. They're very quickly starting to play with fire.
See a couple guys hitting the fence here. Falling up into the wall for a second there, a little further in the back.
Okay, here we go in the mid-pack a little bit. Cody Hemingway, Heath Snyder, one of our previous race leaders.
One thing that's really crazy right now, Justin Levine on the significantly older tires than your race leader, Donnellan, is running comparable times here to these guys up at the point. He's running 15.3s. Everybody else up here in the field is running 15.3s. So Justin, come down and get those full freshies. Get a caution. Be a real big problem for the rest of these guys out here tonight.
You really would.
But
oh my goodness, yeah. It would be the only other person doing 15.3s, or at least he was doing a 15.3, was Gary Donaldson, now doing a 15.47 around here. His last pit lap was 89.
We got one truck on
Justin
pit road right now.
Levine is on 62. And who's on pit road there?
Scott Schroeder in the 74 machine. Don't know what's up with that. I feel like that's an unscheduled stop. Depending on the fuel mileage this week, anyway.
Okay. It would be an unfortunate situation if that was the case. And I have an answer for you. There were 3 sets of tires in pits. So,
Yeah,
not a
I
lot.
think these guys have just about used every set they have right now, too.
Exactly. Yeah, there's not that many. For a situation like Bristol, where you kind of expect there to be either a number of flag stops, or B, at least a number of situations where your tires are going to get chewed up. And it looks like, unfortunately, Scott Schroeder might be out for the race. Don't think he's going to be popping back in.
Up break there. Also, we're watching Levine finally starting to fall off a cliff with that tire wear now. Got passed by Hemingway a few laps ago. Just got passed by Snyder. Right now, looking up at the front of the field, though, Gardner has worked himself into the tire tracks of the 39 machine of Joseph Tucker. The underdog machine looking pretty scrappy up here at Bristol.
Looking scrappy.
And that right there, that's a feeling that you love as a driver. If you're up there working that same line as the guy in front of you, and it just feels like every corner you're watching that time melt. Watching that tailgate get a little bit closer to you. All the way through the corner. You see he's backing up the entry, getting that drive off. And that right there is exactly what you need to be doing right now if you're setting up for a pass here at Bristol. Because you need to be able to get down to the bottom like you saw. And he's not going to be able to make it stick here, though. Once you get these tires worn in here, it's so hard to make something happen on the inside line. You've got to get it perfect.
Yeah, Colton Gardner now driving. You can see very, very tight. He wants to find that spot where he can make the attack and commit safely. That's really going to be the thing here. We're on lap 142 out of 150, folks. Less than 10 laps to go as we have Donaldson, Tucker, and Gardner battling it out still for the front. It looks like Donaldson's out and away, but it's Tucker and Gardner right now trying to figure out who's going to get second, who's going to get third. As we're on 143 going into 144, it has been a very good night of racing here at Bristol. Sparks flying everywhere as the guys from SSRL have put on a hell of a battle.
Yeah, right now at this point, you can count, we talked about it a lot, or at least I did with Levine and the tire charge. You can basically count him out now. 5 laps remaining on the board here. And this thing, I'm pretty sure, man, if barring any issues from lap traffic, Donaldson just puts together such a good performance here and such a good advantage. I don't even think these guys can really get to him to do anything right now as we take 5 laps to go here from the last Great Coliseum, Bristol Motor Speedway. I know, hard contact with the fence again. Hemingway just been glued to it the last couple laps. Here comes Snyder diving it down to the inside through 1 and 2. Through 3 and 4, going to be door-to-door here at the start-finish line.
I think Snyder will eventually get that pass. Yep, there it is.
No, not quite. That outside, you can just rock it up out of the corner here. Doesn't matter if you hit the wall or not. You can just stab the gas so much quicker. Get way better drive off.
You're right. 148 out of 150. 2 to go. Eyes on the lead, folks. Gary Donaldson, who's looking at the back of the pack right now, trying to make a safe pass on the guys back there, or maybe just to stay tucked in for one more lap. We are going to be on the final lap in moments of 150 here at Bristol, the SSRL Monday Night Truck Series presented by Chasity Tucker Realtor. Gary Donaldson leading things through 150 high on the outside, looking good, a full 2.5 seconds ahead of second place. Coming now to get ready to get that checkered flag. It'll be Gary Donaldson crossing the line, winning it all here at Bristol.
And what a great drive and performance from that 12 machine of Gary Donaldson. So quiet the first stages of this race, worked himself up into the top 5, and ever since he got to 4th position, it's just been a rocket ship ride to the point. I can't think of anybody doing anything so perfect here, but Gary has found a way to do it. Put together a perfect race in that 12 machine.
Just about flawless. What a drive. Able to avoid all the craziness that went down during that race, and there was a fair enough amount. Gary Donnellan. Like I said earlier on, the story of Gary Donnellan doesn't start at the beginning of the race. It starts somewhere in the middle, and it was around lap 30, lap 40, that we started to realize that things were really kicking in for him. And kick in they did, and kicked in they stayed. Let's give you the unofficial results here from Bristol. First place, Gary Donnellan. Second, Joseph Tucker. Third, Heath Snyder. Fourth, Colton Gardner. Fifth, Cody Hemingway. Sixth, Justin Levine. Seventh, Blair Holloman. Eighth, James Staples. Ninth, Shane Clore. And 10th, Evan Ethel.
11th place, we got Jason Kratke with Art Nicotera in 12th. 13th is going to go to Kyle Westwood, with 14th going to Christopher Fuge. 15th position is going to be Nick Jezebowski with Scott Schroeder in 16th. 17th is going to be Tony Jeffries, with 18th going to be Jordan Sailors after a rough night for him. Hard break for Chad Gunningsman as he brings it home 19th, with Colby Jackson, another hard break in 20th. Then rounding out the 21 truck field is going to be Drew Prohl after a really, really rough night at the races here at Bristol.
Yeah, very sad to see.
So notable, that's a 1-2 finish for Hostile Intent with Gary Donnellan and Tucker bringing it home 1-2 there.
Hey, not bad, not bad. A team finish. And in a moment, we'll be doing some interviews with a few of these guys here. We're going to start with, let's see, here we got everybody. I will start by talking to our third place finisher, Heath Snyder, who I'll pop up right now, and we'll talk to Heath Snyder. Hello, Heath. Can you hear us?
Yes, I can.
Hey, what a race tonight. You were all over the field. You had to fight to get back. Can you tell us what was the toughest part of tonight's race for you?
Getting a speeding penalty and having to come from the back. That definitely cost me the win. There at the end, I was running laps up to like 3/10 faster than what Gary was. So I was coming, but just ran out of time.
Oh man, yeah. That I honestly, I'm very sorry. I missed exactly when did that penalty hit you? Is that early on, or was that toward the end?
It was the last pit stop when Gary and Tucker also pitted. I would have came out third behind them, but I got myself a mile per hour too fast.
Oh no, well that is, yeah, if they catch you on anything, they're going to catch you on that, but we're glad to see you made your way back up to the podium regardless. You got that third place finish. In terms of Bristol, were you anticipating what were you anticipating coming into Bristol? Let's just leave it open-ended.
Both all the official races I ran last week were an absolute disaster. Most green flag laps we had in a row was probably like 10 to 15. It was bad. So I was surprised to have long green flag runs here, but I'm glad we did. It definitely made it more entertaining and not as boring for us.
Well, you guys had some great green flag racing tonight. I can't confirm that. And a couple of yellows here and there, but still kept it green most of the night. Is there anybody you'd like to shout out to or thank?
Yeah, shout out to the guys back at ESC. They built a beast of a setup for this. Just had to adjust a little bit for the fuel, but this thing could wrap the bottom so well. And like just long run, I had them, but like I said, kind of screwed myself there, and I'll take what I got.
Well, we hope that you have a good rest of your week. Congratulations on that third place finish from Bristol, and we'll talk to you later.
All right, sounds good. You guys have a good night, and thanks for the broadcast.
Hey, you're welcome. Take care. And that was Heath Snyder in third place. We're going to pass things over now to my good friend Sheldon Atkins, who is going to talk to Joseph Tucker. I'll move Joseph Tucker up now, and you can say hello.
Joseph, Sheldon up here in the Grid Vision booth. First off, a great run for you tonight with the Chasity Tucker Realtor machine. Up there at the, within spitting distance of the point or in the point all night long. Good battle there between you and Gary there at the end, but Gary coming up off top. What do you think was the difference maker for you this evening?
Tire saving. Gary apparently was able to tire save more than me, and I'm really confused on how that was working, but I commend him for it. He did a great job all night. He was on my bumper the first stage, and then the second stage he was there again. I just couldn't get away from him, so he did great.
You guys unloaded with some really fast hot rods tonight. Just tell me a little bit about your race, man. How's it feel coming here to Bristol? Because it looks like you got a really good feel for this place, and this is one of those tracks where it's either you got it or you don't. It looked like you had it tonight, just ran out of tire.
I don't know. Apparently Bristol's tire saving, yeah, concrete, but you don't think it would burn up the tires as much while you're waiting patiently for throttle, and it did. So Bristol's very sensitive, I would assume, with throttle, and steering inputs throttle. You can't do anything without being a little too careful with it.
Yeah. Well, you definitely put on a great performance tonight, and a good finish nonetheless. Who all do you want to thank and shout out for this top 3 performance this evening?
I'd like to thank Gary for helping me out, pulling a 1-2 for us. Chasity took a Realtor, Hospital Intent Racing, Mission 22, my mom, my dad, my girlfriend, you guys for broadcasting, and SSRL for putting this on.
Thanks for taking the time to come here in the booth with us. Looking forward to seeing you next week. I'm going to hand this over to Joe LaCastro with your race winner, Gary Donnellan.
Okie doke. Let's pop up Gary Donnellan. Talk to him here. Gary, can you hear us? Hello, Gary.
Hey, I got you.
All right. Hey, congratulations on your victory tonight.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
We were just talking about you about right about lap 35, 30, somewhere around there. You started to creep up in the picture, and we said, aha, let's keep an eye on Gary Donnellan. Let's see what happens tonight. And you managed to survive, and drive straight to the finish. Tell us, what do you think was your key to success tonight?
Well, me and Joseph and Drew, my teammates, we tinkered with a few different setups in practice, and none of them really felt good. Just kind of went with that one. I think a couple of us did, and it worked out pretty good. It was a lot better in race than it was in practice. So.
So whatever you were feeding that car, that was kind of what I was speculating. I said, whatever they're feeding that number 12, they got to keep feeding it to it, because that whatever's under the hood is definitely walking away with it tonight. And you managed just some really, really excellent driving, kept it ahead of Joseph Tucker. Really good battle for the finish there. Was there anybody is there anybody outside of your team that you thought was giving you a run for your money?
The 29 and 33, they were really fast, and I don't know. I think they maybe banked on a caution, didn't get it, and didn't get their last set of tires. But I was pretty good on a long run, which I was hoping for, and I was able to keep pace and save tires. So it was really those two guys. They were pretty damn fast, and my teammate Joseph.
Yeah, you guys worked together to really shine at the end there. It was a really impressive fight. And honestly, you guys having that nice 1-2 finish has got to feel really good, especially at a track that can be really difficult, like Bristol, to get that sort of great closure on. Is there anybody you'd like to shout out to or thank tonight?
Yeah, my teammates Joseph and Drew, man, they shine through when it comes to helping me out, because they're way better than I am. But also my crew at work, those guys shine every day too, and Grid Vision for putting this on.
Well, hey, thank you very much, Gary, and we look forward to seeing you race again very soon. Are you looking forward to where we're going next? I think we're going to where are we going next? Talladega?
Yeah, I'm not looking forward to that. I'm the most unlucky person ever.
Everybody says the same thing. I think you're going to do fine, Gary. We look forward to seeing you race over there anyway, so we will see you soon, okay?
All righty, thank you.
All right, take care. Bye-bye.
All right, bye.
And that was Gary Donnellan, your race winner tonight. Oh, man, Sheldon, we had a pretty good one tonight. We kept it pretty green, don't you think?
Yeah, man. Anytime you get more than 60 laps green at Bristol, you know you've had a good field. And these guys put on a great show tonight. Lots of good battles, lots of comers and goers. I mean, this is what you want to see when you come here, man. This is a beautiful track, and we got to see these guys utilize it to its full potential. I mean, all the way coming down to the last 20 laps, you know, it still wasn't over. Still had a battle for the lead and a battle for the win on that one. So good job to everybody here tonight. And man, I'm just looking forward to sitting back up here in the booth and calling more of the Spartan Sim Racing League, because these guys have it figured out.
I'm looking forward to it too, my friend. It's always been a good time as usual. And yet again, we had a great race here from the last great Coliseum, Bristol. The boys from SSRL put on a fantastic race. And thank you again to Chasity Tucker Realtor for sponsoring. But let's wrap things up and bring it home. So from the entire Grid Vision team, we'd like to thank you for watching and participating in the chat. For more information on getting your league broadcast or starting your career in broadcasting, contact us on Facebook, X, or email us at info@gridvision.live. Congratulations to Gary Donnelly on winning tonight's race from Bristol. This has been Joe LaCastro, Sheldon Atkins, and our producer, Austin Darbyshire. We will see you next time on the Grid.